These are the sexiest men's everyday versatile fragrances. Often when you're a guy, you just want to smell attractive with your everyday scent. You want fragrances that are dumb reaches. A dumb reach is a fragrance you don't have to think about when you're in a rush. Just grab and go, and you know you're going to get a fragrance that smells incredibly sexy, it's inoffensive, works in any scenario, and lasts a long time as well. So hopefully today with these 8 fragrances I'm recommending to you guys, these will fit these criteria today. I think when you want to smell attractive, you kind of do need to stand out a little bit. I don't want to give you just like 8 boring blue fragrances, for example. I want to give you a variety of styles here, but hopefully these are fragrance styles that you really like. Hopefully you'll check out one of these at least and fall in love with them and hopefully find a new signature through this video. Let's go. The first fragrance I'm going to recommend is Armani Code's Parfum, the new concentration. This is an incredible fragrance. I wore this the other day and I'm actually getting a bottle on the way. This is a fragrance that is dark, but at the same time fresh, aromatic. It uses these fresh bergamot notes with some tonka bean, some powdery iris in there in the new concentration that makes it very sexy. It's just a very traditionally woody scent that is crisp, clean, refreshing, but it has enough character in there to not be a boring signature. Has a little bit of maturity, so I think guys who are 25 and up can rock it the best, in my opinion. The Armani Code line in general is fairly mature. It's like the mainstream designer line of scents for men. And I think, yeah, the Armani Code line in general is just very solid. So Armani Code Parfum, I think, is probably the best concentration right now from the line. It's the best fragrance currently in production still. All the stuff got discontinued, like Absolute. And it lasts a long time as well, 8 to 10 hours. So go ahead and check it out. I think it's a great scent. It can provide you a really sexy signature that'll still make you stand out enough. 32% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys want to see our channel grow, to really help us out, click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. And here we have a new addition to the collection. This is Loewe 7 Cobalt. Someone in the comments, please educate me on how to pronounce the name of this brand. But yeah, I went to Spain recently and a lot of Spanish commenters say, you must check out this brand. I checked out a few other things. I think I checked out Esencia, which is their most famous one. It's a little bit old school, not a bad, nice, it's a nice woody scent. I actually blind bought this recently because a lot of reviews said this is great, an interesting blue fragrance. This is a blue scent. It smells incredibly sexy, actually. Not the best performer, around 6 hours, but I think it's worth it. I think this is such a light, refreshing, and really high quality and natural smelling blue fragrance. I think if you're a youthful guy looking for fragrances like YSL's YADP or the Versace Dylan Blue, I would say get this instead. You spend a little bit more money. I think it's like 70 to 80 pounds, but I think this smells incredibly well blended. This is like the blue fragrance that doesn't smell synthetic, finally. It's just a very nicely blended scent. It is fruity, peppery, spicy, woody, clean, fresh out of the shower. It's a really smooth blend for a kind of guy who likes more light and refreshing fragrances. If you like those really traditional, manly colognes you'd wear or smell in the gym room, locker rooms, for example, this is the kind of fragrance for you. This is just incredibly fresh, easy to like. I think all age groups can rock this. I think this is a really great underrated scent. It is a longevity that kind of disappoints me a little bit. It's 6 hours with a medium projection still. So if that longevity was just a little bit better, this would actually get a 10 out of 10 from me. This is a really nicely blended blue scent. Otherwise, it still gets a 9 out of 10. I think everyone should check it out. Carolina Herrera's 212 Men NYC. So this is kind of a similar vibe to Loewe 7 Cobalt. This is a fragrance that, again, is fresh out of the shower, musky, clean, really easy to love, a hint of greenness in there. But this, again, just works really nicely. The deodorants can presentation they're going for here kind of fits nicely. It is that similar vibe, that gym locker room kind of vibe, but that works for all age groups still. And it's 10 hours longevity. Wait for this to go on discount. This is an incredibly sexy fragrance that a lot of guys are kind of sleeping on because it's a little bit old school, but it doesn't smell old school. It just came out a long time ago, but it still stands the test of time in my opinion, so check it out. Dior Sauvage Parfum. Another 9 out of 10, and I know I said that I want to keep going on about blue fragrances in this video, but I do think this is a different blue fragrance because it really makes the original Eau de Toilette, which is a little bit juvenile at this point, a little bit annoying, it kind of tones it down and makes Sauvage better. I think this is probably the best concentration of Sauvage to my nose right now. It's a more natural, toned down version of Sauvage. It kind of takes all the best aspects of the Eau de Toilette, the fresh out of the shower, mass appeal, the lovability of it, and tones it down. It's not as loud anymore. It's more like a soft and medium projection, but still lasts 10 hours. They focus more on natural notes. It's not as synthetic and headache inducing. They got more of the mandarin and sandalwood notes as the main characters here, which is great. And the ambroxan isn't as overpowering as previously. That's why I think this is actually the best version of Dior Sauvage. I think if you want a really classy, more smooth version of the DNA, then get the Parfum. Chanel's Allure Homme Sport. Similar to Loewe 7 Cobalt. Again, this is a more lighter, airier scent, ozonic, a little bit aquatic, citruses being used here. And it's very much like a cloudy fragrance, I'd say. It's like a sporty, fresh, cloudy fragrance that a pilot would wear, something like that. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting with Allure Sport, the original. One of my most complimented fragrances. Got this smooth muskiness in here. That goes a little bit too heavy with that smooth musk in the Eau Extreme, in my opinion. I still think it's a great scent, but I personally prefer this subjectively. And I think if you want to smell sexy, especially more in the warmer weather, but you can wear this all year round, Allure Sport will do it for you, and it will get you a lot of compliments, hopefully. YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique. It is that sexy cardamom, woody, amber DNA of the original La Nuit de l'Homme. Very romantic, but at the same time sexy, masculine, enticing, and inviting. L'Homme and La Nuit de l'Homme are some of the best fragrances ever made, in my opinion, just blend-wise. But unfortunately, their performance sucks. Luckily, the Bleu Electrique flanker ups the performance a little bit of the original, makes it around 6 to 8 hours now with my bottles, what I'm getting. And if you can't get this fragrance, I know it's a little bit hard for some regions, do try to get it because I think it's incredibly sexy. It's got all these different sexy aspects to it that I've talked about before. It really is similar to the original, but it just smells a little bit more fresh, a little bit more modern. There's some slight differences to the original, but overall they're very similar fragrances with better performance. It's a little bit blue, I guess, because it has that fresh out of the shower aspect, but it's still a warm, sexy, spicy DNA overall. So I think this is a great versatile signature. If you really just want to smell attractive and sexy every day, this is the fragrance for you. Terre d'Hermès. I got the Eau de Toilette here, but you can go for the Eau de Parfum if you want as well. Both incredibly sexy fragrances. Multifaceted, challenging, distinct perfume. If you want a fragrance signature that makes it smell a bit more professional, a bit more serious, but at the same time distinct, it works in pretty much most scenarios during the daytime, this is the fragrance for you. It's a really crisp, refreshing citrus orange perfumery with this earthiness to it, with some clean woods in here as well. It's long lasting. Well, the Parfum is longer lasting than Eau de Toilette. You have to try out a new modern batches. Apparently it's been reformulated, but the DNA is masterful. It's a masterpiece DNA. If you can get at least 8 hours from it, I think this fragrance is a 10 out of 10. And I think, again, it's just more for the more mature guys who want to smell sexy. Let's say Armani Code Parfum smells a bit too basic and simple to you, then you can go for something like this. It's more complex. I don't think I'll ever get bored of this DNA personally. And finally, this last fragrance, I kind of saved the most intense and best for last. This is an incredibly sexy fragrance if you have infinite money. This is Amouage's Jubilation 40. 40% Parfum extrait. That's just insane. It's using an incredibly dense fragrance concentration with some of the best notes in perfumery in the world. Really high quality ambers, frankincense in here. Then they're using really high quality oud, some fruity notes in here. This is a very fruity, woody, musky amber DNA. This is Middle Eastern perfumery done really in a mass appealing way. The original Jubilation 25 was very easy to like. I think the Jubilation 40 is a better scent profile. So it's just a very expensive fragrance, around £400, something like that. And you kind of can understand why. I kind of wish the performance was a little bit better. I'm only just barely getting over 8 hours with it with a medium projection. This has gotten me compliments before. It smells incredibly sexy. It smells incredibly expensive as well. So if you're the kind of guy who wants to smell really attractive but have have a lot of money, but you want to smell just really expensive at the same time, Jubilation 40 is the one to check out. It's really interesting perfumery. Again, it's very mainstream, mass appealing, but just again another fragrance you'll never get bored of. Really, really sexy DNA. And that concludes this video for you guys. Do you want to add any other suggestions into this list as well? Let us know your suggestions in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on these 8 fragrances I've discussed today? Do you agree or disagree? If you want to know more about other sexy men's fragrances, make sure to check out our previous video up here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.